workshop. Now when you've been married as long as I have, it's always difficult to know what to buy your beloved for a present. And as Valentine's Day approaches, I've been struggling. But this year I've had a brainwave and I've decided to make her a leather flower. Now it so happens that she rather likes lilies, so I've made her this one. And then in the middle of the night I had a brainwave. In the depths of my workshop I've got some red patent leather. Now what's going to be better than to make a flower out of red patent leather? Perfect for Valentine's Day. So the first job is to make ourselves some leaves, and I've made myself a little pattern so that way I can get all the leaves the same, and we're just going to mark it out on the back of our piece of leather. Make sure you do work on the back, and I'm using a gel pen to mark here. So here we are, we've marked out what we want, so we'll just quickly cut those out. Don't throw those little scraps away, we can use those in a minute. So having cut our 4 leaves out, quickly run a crease down. And we'll do that on all 4 of them. So we'll quickly run a line down for the stitch marker, and we're coming in 1/4 inch or 6mm, depending on which version of it you'd like to work in. And then we're going to mark it with our stitch marker. Now I'm using a number 6 stitch marker, and it's important that on each side you do the same number of stitches. So you've got to be very careful on how you do this. We use the one that we So there you are. As you can see, I've marked it with stitches all the way down there, and again I should do that on all 4 leaves. Always we're using a thread with a needle at both ends, and we start at the top coming in from the back, and we're going to go down in a crisscross pattern, a bit like threading a shoe. Now when you get it like that, you turn it round, and we just tie ourselves a little reef knot there. For those of you who are in the Boy Scouts, you'll remember left over right and right over left. And there you are, that's the first one done. So there you are, we've now got all 4 leaves sewn together, and it looks just as good on the back as it does on the front. In fact, I think it looks better on the back, but we won't worry about that too much. So the next job is to actually sew that together like that, which now becomes a little bit more of a challenge. So we can't do it in the clamp. So this time we start at the bottom rather than at the top. And that then is the bell of our flower made. This leather has been tied up in a fairly tight roll for a while, so it's got this curve to it, and it's not bad. I could leave it like that, but I want a slightly better shape than that. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to soak it in water that way up for about 20 minutes, just to get this end of the leather soaked, and then I can shape it and mould it to get a much better leaf-like shape. I've cut myself a nice little piece of leather here, and I'm just going to quickly run a line down one side because we're going to sew it all the way down, and again using our stitch marker we'll mark it all the way down. So there you go, by the magic of video I've stitched up the sides there. That saved you 20 minutes of a tedious video, and I've now got this little steel rod which I've cut to size, which I'm going to feed down inside. I said we'll save these offcuts. They're going to fit into the end of our stem like this, and again I shall sew those into place, and they will be the stamens. So having sewn the stem, you poke it through the middle of our flower, like so, and we can then use so there you are, we've got ourselves a red lily all ready for Valentine's Day. Hopefully she'll like it. I've no idea how I'm going to top it for next year, but I'll worry about it then. If she doesn't like it, I'll have to find myself a goth who's getting married. Thanks for watching. Now if you've enjoyed this video, do have a look at the other videos on my channel. Hopefully you might find them interesting.